Rob from Troutlore.com.au, Australia's fly tying specialist store. Today we're tying a super simple caddis grub. It's really 3 materials and you can tie it in about 2 minutes so long as you don't rub it on like I tend to do. So let's get started. We are starting off with a Firehole 315 hook. That's their clink hammer, stonefly, nymph hook. Any sort of curved grub hook is going to do the trick for you. These ones I do like the shape of, but the 316 or the 320 will do the trick, or an RX FW540 or some other similar hook. Then we're going to take some 0.015 lead-free wire, just take a couple of inches of that and start making touching wraps up the middle third of the body of the hook. And trim that off. Please don't use your scissors like you're seeing me do. Use some tin snips. Save the life of your scissors. These ones are on their last leg, so I'm not too concerned. It's a case of do as I say, not what I do in this instance. Now, normally I'd use black thread for this because the head's going to be black, but we're running very low on that spool and I don't know if we're going to make it. So we're just going to use some brown Veevus 8/0 thread and we'll fix that up when we get to the end as far as the colour goes. It's not too difficult to worry about. So starting the thread on the hook shank behind the wire and carrying it on down over the wire. You can trim that off, and we're just going to work a little bit on the taper there between the wire and the hook shank, and then finish at the bottom. Next, we're going to use some Arctic snow dubbing in the olive green colour. It's a nice translucent BMS style dubbing, like an antron, so it's going to capture lots of light while it's on the hook. It gives a great caddisy colour. So a little bit of dubbing wax on the thread, and then we'll just start building a very fine dubbing needle, especially at the start here, as we're going to be building a taper on this hook. And then wrapping down to below where that thread started. Once we capture the dubbing on the hook, we're just going to start wrapping up slowly. As you can see, I put very little dubbing on the actual thread each time. It's easy to add more than take it away. We'll just keep working our way up, creating a new needle each time. And you'll notice that I only spin the dubbing on the thread in one direction. It's very easy for people to want to go back and forth and back and forth, and you're actually undoing the work each time. So make sure you only ever twist in one direction as you do that. And then we continue wrapping up. When we get up over this wire, you just want to make sure that we get a nice even sort of shape as we come over the flatness of the wire. So a little more in the centre and a little less on the edge. And then in we come with another noodle of dubbing. Just slowly adding more and more each time. And covering all of that wire. We'll need a little extra here on the taper where it ends. Just tighten that noodle up slightly. And that's good. Now I'm just going to grab my scissors and run over that, just trim off long flyaway fibres. Pull that up, just trim them down. And the next material, it's another dubbing. It's a Chuck and Duck Hare and Squirrel in black. This is going to build the head of the fly. So a little bit more dubbing wax on there. Great buggy dubbing this. Very soft, very easy to work with. And it's got plenty of character. All those spiky bits of squirrel and hare you can brush out to create a real buggy look for the head of a fly. So a base like that, and then we're just going to put a little extra on a slightly looser needle so it allows us to brush some of that out more. Then we'll pop a half hitch in behind the eye. At this stage we can then come and trim that out, tidy it up, and before we whip finish, because we have the brown thread, the only part of the thread that's showing is at the very eye, I'm just going to take a gold Sharpie in black and run that up and down the thread in a couple of inches before it hits the hook. Now we've got black thread to work with, and we can just whip finish that to seal it off. A couple of 3 or 4 turn whip finishes, and that's not going anywhere. Trim that out. Then with our dubbing brush, we're just going to brush the dubbing on the head to create a little bit of leggy look to the head of that fly, keeping the body nice and fine. And there you have it, a very simple caddis pattern. It's quick to tie. Of course, it took a little bit longer as I went through the process, but you can whip these up in about 2 minutes each. They've got a bit of weight in them so they sink, but you're not suffering from the look of the bead at the front. It gives it a more natural look, not having the bead there. You'll catch fish time and time again. There's really no reason why you shouldn't have a dozen of these in the fly box at any time. Only half an hour out of your day. As usual, you'll find the materials list below in the description. And if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos, tie a few of these yourself, get on out there and catch some fish. Thanks for watching. Cheers.